How my revolutionary comrades doing right now? All right. Continuing countless imperialist wars, executive orders banning citizens of whole countries, which are all in Africa or the Middle East, constant threat of your health care being taken away. We live in a system that only works to keep all the wealth and resources in the hands of the 1% of the entire population, while everybody else is left to find means to survive in a system that was meant that they do the exact opposite of that. A system where health care, health insurance, education, property ownership, and resources are privileges, and for the wealthy few instead of rights for all. This economic system, called capitalism, putting things closer, was never meant, and I mean never meant, to benefit the working class. Capitalism was never meant to benefit the poor, and every single U.S. president, every single U.S. politician who is currently holding or has held public office is a champion of this corrupt system, while at the same time voicing crocodile tears of concern for the people to get elected. The current president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, is continuing what imperialists and capitalists have been doing in this country since at least the late 1400s. Exploiting land that doesn't belong to them. For example, trying to ram a fucking North Dakota pipeline through indigenous land. Invading and bombing Middle Eastern nations for no good reason at all, etc. Enacting legal racism, like banning citizens from 7 black and Arab countries, and deporting legal immigrants. People who are here legally are still getting deported. Enacting legal racism, and continuing decades-long wars in the Middle East and elsewhere. Policing other nations who the U.S. government perceives as hostile to the U.S. national interest, among so many other atrocities that are so numerous, I would just lose patience writing all that shit or just listening more. But fortunately, all of the above is making it easier for socialist organizations and parties to attract younger people. According to SPLCenter.com as well as CNN.com, the number of socialist organizing committees and communist organizations as a whole has nearly doubled since Donald Trump has been elected. The major attributing factor in the spike in membership is people between the ages of 18 and 34. Membership of various communist organizations, including Workers' World Party, has increased primarily due to the fascist, sexist, homophobic, and racist positions that Trump's administration represents, and it's waking people the fuck up. It is important to note that what Trump represents, capitalism and imperialists as a whole represent, and young people are finally taking notice. They're just fucking tired. Tired of tax dollars coming out of their paychecks, which are being used to fund for wars they didn't agree on. And mind you, we already being shortchanged out of our checks anyway, paying for taxes. Young people are tired of politicians who don't even have vaginas telling women what to do with theirs. The young masses are The young masses are tired of the same bullshit that capitalist politicians, Democrat and Republican alike, spew out on the campaign trail only to get elected and not do a single goddamn thing for the constituents who elected them. Young people are realizing more and more that no matter who they elect, as long as it's under this capitalist system, things will stay the same. Young people are now realizing more and more that in order for things to change, the entire system has to change. This renewed interest in socialism and communism in young people is vital, as we are the ones who will carry the torch and continue the fight for socialism. If there is no one to continue our struggle, and if there is no one to continue fighting for socialism and to fight for communism, then there will be no more fight for socialism and communism. And in that regard, even though Donald Trump and the people who represent the capitalist system, I personally believe they're fucking idiots, I have to thank them. I have to thank Donald Trump. He is racist and unqualified as shit, but his unqualified ass and his fascist, homophobic, and racist views are some of the very reason that we have some of these beautiful young comrades in this room today. Now more than ever, it's time to strike down the system that oppresses us. Our forces are only expanding, and we will continue to work as hard as we can to continue to expand. Imagine if people in the tens of millions filled the streets, powerfully declaring that this regime is illegitimate and demanding that it not be allowed to rule. Their whole political landscape will be changed. Every faction within the established power structure will be forced to respond, and all this could lead to a situation in which this fascist capitalist regime is actually prevented from ruling and actually overthrown. And with all that being said, that is coming. The revolution is coming. Capitalists can't stop it. The revolution train is coming. And it's going express. We're skipping all the capitalist motherfuckers.